I've been hearing a lot about. This is essentially a gotchified version of Warframe, which to some degree I think is good, but we're going to see how they deliver on it. It's a game that I think we're all familiar with at this point. I think Genizad got some early access testing into it. Should you try Duet Night Abyss? This is maybe my homie Genizad. I try to watch all of his videos. I think he's a good-ass dude. And if you haven't subscribed to him, I recommend that you do. Good guy. Let's see what he thinks about Duet Night Abyss.
Amendment was ratified in the United States. The right to bear arms.
Am I on the right fucking video? What? Is this the right intro? Am I lagging?
In 1791,
Okay. Well, maybe, all right. I'll just let it cook. Okay. Maybe I don't get it.
In 1791, the Second Amendment was ratified in the United States, the right to bear arms.
Yep.
Many wonder, but for whom were we supposed to bear arms against? These guys. And
Oh, what a crazy fucking intro, dude. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. That is crazy.
who was supposed to use them? A bunch of anime waifus. Welcome to the newest hit gacha game about protecting our freedom.
Oh yeah.
Duet Night Abyss. This game has a lot of hype surrounding it because it combines some of our favorite systems into a single game. A run and gun, hack and slash, fast and furious game with lots of progression and a gacha system to get characters you enjoy, made by Pan Studio, and I ain't talking about no piano. And yes, this is a sponsored video. However, although I'm being paid,
This is sponsored? And I didn't get sponsored? Oh well.
do intend to do a fair assessment of the game on its merits, and at the end, summarize any issues that I found. Surely they won't mind, right?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now, I did play this game in a previous beta, and they definitely have improved the game a ton, as it was much more unpolished before, but keep in mind, the game is still in its beta. And as always, if you enjoy this video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll be making more videos like—
The problem is that whenever the game gets to beta state, it's pretty damn close to what it is on launch. Right? Alpha, I'm like, okay, we can make some big improvements, but I think the game that improved the most from beta to launch was Wuthering Waves. So I do take the whole, it's still in beta, guys, with a massive grain of salt, because there are a lot of games that do not fucking change once they make it to that stage.
like this one, or go to twitch.tv/Genizad as I stream daily. Forget the story, characters, exploration, endgame, your next meal. First, let's talk about the most important part of the game, the movement and the combat.
Yeah. It looked pretty good from what I remember.
May you rest in peace.
This is—
And I think that's great because I think with how many high quality gacha games are coming out lately, I think Hoyoverse is going to lose its iron claw on the majority of the audience, and I do think more of a free-flowing type of game system will be more introduced for just play what you want, not just whatever the latest Hoyo title is. And I think that is going to make Hoyo incredibly nervous, which I do think in the short term is going to lead to a lot more predatory actions to cash out while they can and invest in their new game that they actually are going to have to try on, which is why I don't think that I'm going to have to give up on Hoyoverse games entirely. I do think eventually they'll realize, okay, we're no longer a monopoly. Let's actually fucking try. Because I do know they have the potential to make a great game. They're just choosing not to. And they're choosing shortcuts at every opportunity they can.
by far one of the biggest highlights of the game, and honestly probably why most people want to play the game. The movement is smooth as hell, with quick dashing and air movement that lets you maneuver around areas and fights quickly. You can easily go over walls and buildings and around enemies and dash out of incoming attacks. It generally serves as your main source of movement in the open world as well, since it's quick and faster than running. No crummy stamina bar that immediately ticks down after a small burst of speed. Your dad did one bullet jump out to grab some milk, and bro went so far he still isn't back. This game's lifeblood is the parkour and maneuvering around everything. Now the combat is tied in with this, because as you speed around, you can easily take out your gun and start blasting in midair, and it even slows your fall speed while aiming. They have rifles, shotguns, grenade launchers, bows, and dual pistols.
Dual pistols are always so fucking gangster. Dual flintlocks are just aura, bro. They just are fucking aura.
Good, and you can freely swap from your ranged weapon to your melee and vice versa at any point. For melee, we currently have weapons like spears, scythes, swords, katanas, and claymores, and more. The melee combat feels very
Katana dual pistols, so sick. Shotgun scythe, fucking nuts.
meaty when you attack, and each weapon can be used on any character. That's right, there's no character restrictions at all. Every character can use any melee or ranged weapon at any time, allowing you to play your favorite characters with your favorite weapons.
I think that's probably true. However, I think denying the existence of a meta for what characters are more beneficial using what weapons is probably short-sighted. I do think that every character is going to have their preferred style of combat from what I would assume from every other game I've played, but maybe it's the exception.
They also have a passive ability, skill, and ultimate ability, and some make the characters feel very distinct, but you can always use your favorite weapon's moveset. Now in this game, you only actually control one character at a time, which is very different than most other contemporary gacha games in the open world genre. You also can match with others in a party of 3 to do dungeons and other content, but since I have no friends and I'm a shut-in NEET, I'm unable to play co-op. However, in Do a Night Abyss, you don't need friends, and I'm not just coping. You can summon 2 other owned characters as helpers to run around with you by using their sigil on your tactical wheel and gearing them. In this way, you don't have to play alone, and even when not playing co-op, you have a squad. Hell,
I will say though, Genazad, we can play whenever you want, man. I think me and Genazad have transcended content creator acquaintances. I would consider Genazad a friend 100%.
well, sometimes you can just AFK and have them fight.
But he is an incel, and he's never had sex, and he never will, and he's small, and he's scrawny, and he's weak. He's a weak man, just like his black friend Lucari.
Fight for you. This makes it so
Who, let's be real, Lucari is just a black worse version of Tectone. Let's just be real.
you get to enjoy the characters you pull and make the world feel a little less lonely.
Can we stop pretending that Genazad is Asian? He's not Asian. He's not. He's never been Asian. He never was Asian, and it's a lie. He's saying that to get in with the Asian demographic of gacha games. Genazad is a white male. Until I see your mother or father, I don't know where the fuck you're getting this Asian card from. Say it then, man. If you're Asian, say it, Genazad, say it. And that's how I know he isn't it. Because if he was, he'd just say it.
Now, let's talk about the character progression. First of all, you have the gacha system, which we all love, right? But guess what? So far, it's actually sounding like it might be very free to play. Now listen up, 90
Well, okay, let me lock in. I'll listen in on this. Huge boobs.
pulls is the pity, but every new character banner has 100% chance to pull the banner character with no 50-50 nonsense until after your first copy. In the current
Amazing. Wait, that is absolutely amazing. Okay, hold up.
climate of games, this is incredibly good, and hopefully will
Yes.
stay after the beta. You
Absolutely.
can pull weapons as well, but you're also able to find recipes to craft some of them at the blacksmith. Obviously, you level characters and weapons like any other game
I'm assuming the ones that you can craft are probably not as good as the ones that you can pull. I would assume.
and farm for materials, but what complicates
I would like to say this should be the norm.
things is the shard system. This right here is the gearing system, what in most games you'll be farming for the rest of your life. However, in this game the affixes are a bit more fixed and give specific effects. Every character can equip shards on themselves and their weapons separately, which can have a ton of different effects such as sanity regeneration for your ultimate, attack speed, or even area effect size. In one of the showcases they even showed a build able to use a character
I think the UI for this game, for the inventory system, is not clean enough at all. You can craft gacha weapons. Gacha just lets whales get it faster. Really? Okay, that sounds great. I think the UI for this game is lacking, and I think the design of the environment of the characters and worlds are lacking. I think a remake and an upgrade of the pre-existing graphics would be of huge benefit. It looks a little bit old, I'm not gonna lie. This looks like PS2 graphics. Just being real. I don't think it keeps up with the modern standard of what we expect our games to look like in 2025. However, if the combat makes up for it, great. But I think it needs a lot more polish.
ultimate indefinitely with the right wedges. Also, fortunately, when used, they aren't tied to the character or weapon and can be equipped to others at the same time, making it very free to try things out. Now,
Great.
let's talk about the story of the game.
Okay?
I mostly read only the beginning as to not spoil myself for the launch, but it essentially revolves around the main character and their sister trying to escape from an empire who's hunting you down. And for some reason, you don't wear shoes, which sounds terribly painful in the snow. At one point, I fought this lady with crazy lightning and a bunch of magic, but she was no match for a little lesson in the Second Amendment, baby.
That edit was crazy, bro. What was that? I love it, dude. I love it. Ain't no way bro's Asian with how good he is at being American.
Crazy lightning and a bunch of magic, but she was no match
It's just insane looking to me, bro. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
For a little lesson in the Second Amendment, baby.
She has finally smiled upon me. Take her back.
That is
As
so
for her-
good.
And what is that, bro?
Come back with me, and you'll live.
However, soon after, your sister's captured and you're thrown across the world and you have to find a way to reunite and save her. I'm starting to think these Empire guys might be the bad guys. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Through this is how we meet most of the
Not
characters in the
The
gacha
Rock!
system and also get the progression like the blacksmith. Story is generally not my focus on this type of game, and I would rather read it in the game's release in its finished state. The game itself is an open world
Same.
with puzzles and things to discover, but also dungeons and instance areas to farm and fight difficult enemies. You can find trials that will teleport you to different minigames.
It literally has the same bullet dodge as Warframe, man. And I'll be real, Warframe was a great game. So I think they chose a great game to emulate because I do think that Warframe's audience would be very open into trying a new rendition of their game, which was at one point widely successful, but not to the same degree anymore.
Games with different tasks like puzzles or shooting
think it's a
challenges.
great
They
idea.
do have boss fights obviously, and they can be refought at higher difficulties for better loot after the main story. However,
My only question when I see this game is, how do you lose when the characters can do the ridiculous ass shit they can do? Unless the boss is going to do equally the ridiculous shit, I do think it is going to be fairly difficult to die or experience any repercussions for your actions in this game so far.
more importantly is later on you can enter the Maze of Missteps, which is a roguelike dungeon. And here the demon wedges you've collected are unused, and instead as you progress you get buffs to offset this. A lot of the buffs are unique to this realm, but unused, and instead as you progress you get buffs.
Yeah, I really think the UI of this game really needs to be stepped up. That's a shame. I think the UI down here is great. I think this is perfect down here. It's so clean, so easy to understand, but I think this right here needs a lot of polish. Also, how is he playing his Peeb?
To offset this. A lot of the buffs are unique to this realm but can scale your character higher than ever. Now let's talk about some of the other cool systems I'd like to highlight that may interest you. First of all, they have a customization system in the game allowing you to add accessories to your characters and even color them in their weapons, letting you make your character
that.
look however you want. I don't know, I was playing Dress to Impress, but it's nice to see a game
No, I think that's
system
great.
actually giving some more freedom to the players. Next system is something I haven't seen in any gacha game before now. It's called the impression system.
Are we noticing how shit the NPCs look? Because once again, I would like to address the characters and the environment of this game look really fucking bad. Like it is, I mean, look at the hand. It's like one amalgamation. It's like a blob. Yeah, it looks really fucking bad. They really need to step this shit the fuck up, man.
For now. It's called the impression system. During dialogue in these types of games, you usually have choices, but they don't really matter all that much. However, in Do It Night Abyss, they actually lead to changing characters' impressions of you. Your answer will add stats to your total impressions, such as wisdom, morality, benefit, chaos, and empathy. Based off of this, it can actually potentially change some of the dialogue or outcomes and give points to trade in the Luno Eggy store. There are some topics I was
Okay.
only able to briefly
Very
go
interesting.
over in this video, but the game has even more systems such as pets and crafting and more. I hope you've all enjoyed my review so far of the game and are interested in its release. But really quickly, since we've been talking about all the good things about the game, there were a few little things that I want to discuss that could potentially use some small improvements that I wanted to quickly go over just to get... What the...
Wait, actually? Wait, actually? Bro! Come on! Wait, Genizad, what did you want to say? A few things? Hold on, can I call you for 2 seconds so you can just talk about them? Okay, so what's the issues?
Hey, okay, a few things. Some weapons are way smoother than others. I think newer ones that they made closer to the end of the development.
Yeah.
Some of them feel a little jankier than other ones. Like the katana feels really fucking good.
Yeah.
But then like another one might feel not as good. Other thing, I agree with what you said. The quality of the models and stuff like that, they can definitely up some of the graphics, 100%. Also, something I actually should have just said in the video, but I actually forgot to before I'd already recorded the whole thing, was they should make the bullet jump go farther. That's one of the biggest things that Warframe has over it, is just the amount of distance you can cover in a single movement and stuff, and that feels really good in Warframe and something they should change in that game.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you put that for the feedback for the game?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what, do you
I
know what
want it
issue,
to succeed.
issue that will be fixed? What's this? Duet Night Abyss closed beta review. First closed beta has officially come to an end. DNA, dev team. Oh man. Improved fidelity. Our focus for community. Oh, so they're going to be making the environmental art better. Story related animations. More interactive elements running elemental interactions, deepen immersion. Okay. And then enhancing story quest progression, refining cutscenes, polishing voice acting, story review, animating a in-game wiki, expanding side stories, customized key bindings, full controller support, greater personalization, higher FPS, enhancing weapon handling, refining character animations, optimizing mobile controls, introducing character and weapon previews, adding archive, improved sigil, refining interaction, enhancing weapon equipping process for sigil, improving tutorials, tutorial hotkeys, first-time completion rewards, overhauling Genie Mod system to ensure better synergy with other gameplay elements.
Those are the pets.
Okay,
The
fuck
pets are
yeah.
sick.
It looks like they know what they need to do. It didn't look like they were going to say they were going to introduce or improve the quality of the character model, which is concerning. But they're definitely improving the game, which is great. But how smooth would you say it felt?
It completely depended on the weapon, man. The thing is, I would almost say the smoothness was fine on a lot of it. It's more like they felt like they were toning down what Warframe did. So like, the bullet jump not going as far. It almost feels like they're feeling a little more restricted by it being a gotcha.
Fuck. Okay.
One other thing, the voice acting, they said they're gonna improve it. Holy shit, the voice acting was bad. That's something that they actually like. Holy fuck. Some voices
Yeah.
were so insanely bad, like they just got a guy off the street or something. But the thing is, I'm okay with that because I kind of felt like they even said when I was doing the whole beta and everything, they're like, yeah, we basically just don't really have most voices done. Like we are not focusing on this at all. There were some characters that weren't even voiced, so
Okay. Well, good review, dude. Did you get
yeah, it was a sponsored video, so I couldn't go in too hard on some of the
did you get a
demerits
bag?
of it. But you know what sucks? I actually had this deal before some of my stuff was going larger, so not as much as I should have.
No,
But you know what?
dude.
You know what the things is? I wanted to use it kind of as a test case because I would like to be able to take sponsored videos, but make them worth watching still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So like, I kind of wanted to use it as like a test case to see like, let's see if this works.
No, I think you did a great job.
So, oh, thanks. That's good to hear.
Oh, I'm gonna go watch Freerun. Maybe we'll play it.